Joining me now to talk more about this GOP infighting is Julia Manchester. She is a reporter for The Hill. Julia, thanks for being here on Prime.
Thank you for having me.
So what is your reaction, first of all, to House Leader McCarthy's comments today? Is it best to cast out those who are not on board, or does the party need everyone it can get?
Well, it's certainly a different type of strategy coming from someone who has referred to the Republican Party as a big tent party. Look, we're seeing more and more Republicans at the congressional level say that they cannot have people like Liz Cheney involved in the leadership of the party because they are not in lockstep with former President Trump. It's interesting because former President Trump, even though he lost his re-election bid, he's still considered the de facto leader of the Republican Party. And this past spring, we've seen a number of Republican leaders, including Kevin McCarthy himself, visit President Trump in Florida to figure out a path forward for the party. So I think this shows really how much of, a grip President Trump has on the party at this point.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does that mean that the Republican Party is the party of Trump? I guess this will be a test.
It will absolutely be a test for President Trump, or for the party, excuse me. I think the ultimate test will be in 2022 when we see whether these elected officials that voted to impeach former President Trump, or these elected officials who have been critical of him, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, for example, whether they survived their primaries and survived their re-election bids. I think that will be the ultimate test.
So in a Washington Post op-ed this week, Congresswoman Cheney wrote, quote, "The Republican Party is at a turning point, and Republicans must decide whether we are going to choose truth and fidelity to the Constitution." Cheney's main competition for the House GOP conference chair is Elise Stefanik this week. She reacted to an endorsement from many top members of Congress saying, quote, "We are unified and focused on firing Pelosi and winning in 2022. How do you see this vote playing out? Do tell.
Well, from what we're hearing, Elise Stefanik, a congresswoman from New York, seems to be picking up a lot of support. Look, she is another woman, and so Cheney, as a woman leaving the caucus or the leadership position, another woman would be replacing her. So I think Republicans and Republican leadership are very aware of the optics of that. And also, Elise Stefanik has been successful in her own right within the party. She started the Elevate PAC, also known as EPAC. And she galvanized a number of Republican women to run for office. And we saw that the Republican women were elected in groundswell numbers last fall. So Elise Stefanik has definitely built up her name ID within the Republican Party. So she is someone who is seen very much as a good replacement in the eyes of these other Republican leaders.
So walk us through the procedure for this vote. How is it all going to play out?
Well, you're going to likely have a vote. I personally do not know whether this will be behind closed doors or in public. If it's behind closed doors, we won't know which members will vote for or against, but we will be watching for that. And eventually it will take, obviously, a short period of time, and you will see Liz Cheney likely ousted from what we've been hearing on Capitol Hill.
So does the Republican Party, whether or not this happens going forward, do you see the Republican Party remaining unified, or do you see it kind of splitting into two branches?
I think that's what we're really looking out for, is whether it splits into two branches with Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Mitt Romney, that wing of the party on one side, and then you have the Trump wing on the other side. We've seen that both sides of the Republican Party have had considerably successful fundraising quarters this year. So it'll be interesting to see whether fundraising determines their success. But I think ultimately we will find more out in 2022 when we see how voters react. Remember, these lawmakers are making these decisions based on their constituents back home.
Julia Manchester, nice to have you as always. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.